YouTube, what's going on today, man? Listen, my name's Ryan. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to go over the workflow that I made that produced the clip you saw in the intro of this video. It's using both my audio reactive nodes as well as a fellow audio reactive node developer's node pack, Yvaan. Many of you, if not all of you, have used his nodes before. My favorite of his is the IP adapter transition node. And he made a really clever workflow using this. It just produces really awesome, trippy audio reactive stuff. So he and I were teammates at the Banadoko hackathon, which we won, by the way. And so I've been meaning to do this collaboration for a little while. He and I have differing philosophies and approaches to these audio reactive nodes, so it's pretty cool to see what they can do together. I'll link to his nodes in the description and his channel, as well as my nodes in the description. You can find a link to this workflow in my node packs repository, as well as on my CivitAI profile, where I will include all of the attendant assets like the song and the images and all that. So it's easier to get this up and running. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and shrink this down. Start right at the beginning. I'm going to try to fly through this here. This workflow looks like a lot, but it's not so bad when we break it into pieces. So I'm going to go group by group here. The first group we have is just setting up variables for the rest of the workflow. It's just a bunch of boring ones like the width and the height and the frame count and all that. But the interesting ones are the features. For those uninitiated with my nodes, features are just data sources that we can use for reactivity. In this case, we're using two sources, audio and time. But there are many others that you can use, and they're all interchangeable. There's MIDI, depth, color, brightness, motion, etc., etc. But we're using audio and time, so we're getting the amplitude envelope from the drums that we extracted from the audio. We smooth out the amplitude envelope and then boost it a little bit with this feature mixer. This is what it ultimately looks like. Okay, and then we have two time features set up. I can't remember where we're using them, but we probably are. So this terrible naming convention, but smooth really means sawtooth, and pulse really means sine wave. I've been meaning to update those. Okay, so those are the variables, and we're going to use them throughout the workflow going forward. We load the video, set a couple more variables I forgot about here. Any video will work. Next, we're going to set up the audio reactive LoRa's. So this is something that you can do with my nodes with the feature system. So we've got a couple here. I used RAL Chrome and 3D RAL 3D. Shout out RAL Finger, by the way. I'll link him in the description as well. You might already know I constantly use his. So we use these two LoRa's, and we fade between the two of them using the sawtooth as a mask. So we convert this sawtooth feature here to a mask. So if you could visualize the mask, it would be getting the opacity basically would be modulated here. It's with a sawtooth, we're going to modulate between these two LoRa's. Next, we've got the control net set up. This is carbon copy of what Yvaan had, except I removed the sparse control net in this case. I found that with this setup, we didn't really need it. Let's go over his nodes down here. First, I'll mention here's where we load the checkpoint. You can trade out whatever models you want there. But here's Yvaan's nodes. And we're taking this drum feature, converting it to a float, and then sending that directly into his nodes as audio weights. Here, you could also use feature peak detector. Yeah, feature peak detector. If you wanted some really fine-grained control over these peaks, and where they happen, you could use this feature peak detector. Any further information here, I'm going to defer to Yvaan. I'll link you to his channel, and you can check that out. But this IP adapter transition node is really what gives us a lot of the sauce from this workflow. Then we've got the animate diff setup. That's boring. This was fun. So we're using the advanced luminance mask to set a latent noise mask for the first sampler. So what that means is that we're only going to sample according to the values of the pixels in this mask. Okay, so to make that work really well and smoothly, we threw this differential diffusion in here. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do here with this mask. endless stuff you can do if you just use like any of these flex mask nodes. There's a lot of them. So you can throw these in between this and the latent noise mask node and add even more audio reactivity. It goes deep, man. It goes deep. I have to stop myself from going too far sometimes. So we got the latent noise mask, and the first sampler, you know, we leave a little bit of room for the input latent to come through. And then after this sampler, we decode the latent into the pixel space, and then we add a little bit more, a few more effects, just because we can, in between this sampler and the second sampler. So we use Flex Image Bloom. Looks like I didn't make it audio reactive. I just wanted it to be brighter at the time when I was making this. But then optionally, I have this manual component down here. We use Flex Image Warp. Hold on, we have to wait. See how at the beginning there it shook? That's because I wanted just the beginning clip to have warp. And I really did this only to demonstrate to you that you can insert things at distinct parts of the timeline as you so desire. So we're using this manual feature, just made like a line that goes like this. You can see it here. Then we're using the drum feature, as you can see here, and then combining the two, taking the minimum. So we only get the very beginning of the audio from the drums, and we use that as our feature. That's how I got the warp only at the beginning of the clip. You can remove this, you can modify it, you can get rid of this, you know, you could just add audio reactivity here by like just connecting this directly. Editing Ryan here. Just wanted to jump in and add something that other idiot forgot to mention, which is that just like with the flex masks above, you can likewise use many different flex image nodes here. So we got flex image, and there are a lot of them, man. Really, really cool stuff. Also here, he should have mentioned that you can see one of these features from version 2 of this node pack, which is that we can modulate any of these, not just the feature param here, but we can modulate any of the values of any of these flex nodes. Flex image, flex mask, flex video, flex latent, flex whatever. All the flex nodes, all the parameters, all reactive. Okay, back to the other guy. But it doesn't matter. You just mess around. I hope that you can take this and use it to really modify this workflow to your heart's content. So we encode, we upscale this and then encode it back into the latent space and sample it again with a really low denoise value. And then optionally you can upscale it at the end. And that's how I made the thing at the beginning of the thing. Oh, it's been a while since I've made any audio reactive stuff or used animate diff, so this was really fun. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them down below. Follow me on the other stuff, subscribe to the thing, whatever. I'm Ryan, bye-bye.